Hi, good morning, boys and girls. Hope you are doing well today. Today I'm going to focus on understanding literary language. What is literary language? This was the focus of our unit for this month, which is understanding literary language. If you look at this chart, understanding literary language includes figuring out what playful language really means. When two things are compared, think about how they are alike, and then pay attention to special language. Authors, especially when you get to readers, when you get to higher level books, there's an increase in literary language. And literary language, basically, like you saw, includes comparisons, repetitions, and idioms. And it's very important to understand literary language because otherwise you'll get confused and get lost in the language. And it'll be hard for you to understand what's going on in the story, right? You might take what's being said literally and get very, very confused. So let me show you how, what the strategies include to understand to solve literary language. One is words. You have to remember that words can mean different things. So the first strategy is that's not what it really means. The second strategy is use what's happening in the story to figure out what the author really means, okay? So first you have to say, wait a second, that's kind of confusing. That's not what it really means. What is the author really trying to say? And then you move on and you say to yourself, use what's happening in the story to figure out what the author is really trying to say. So let me show you in this, our famous book, which we know is called Owl Moon. And in Owl Moon, there is a particular page. The first page, it starts out very, very, very quickly into using literary language. It was late one winter night, long past my bedtime, when Pa and I went owling. There was no wind, the trees stood still as giant statues. And the moon was so bright, the sky seemed to shine. Somewhere behind us, a train whistle blew, long and low, like a sad, sad song. So here I notice the trees stood still as giant statues. Here the author is using literary language, and which particular type is he's using, she's using comparisons, right? She's comparing the trees to giant statues. Furthermore, if you go down to the last sentence, somewhere behind us, a train whistle blew, long and low, like a sad, sad song. Again, another comparison. In addition, there was some repetition as well. Sad, sad song. Very, very good. Good job. You guys are doing an amazing job focusing. I'm going to show you so now you're going to practice this strategy with me, okay? So here I have a little excerpt, and I'm going to read it. We are on our way to a hotel. Now you're going to try to do this. We are on our way to a hotel. We stopped at a rest stop. After 20 minutes, my dad said, "Let's hit the road." We got in the car and zoomed out. Okay, hit the road. Does the author really mean that? Do you really take a stick and hit the road? I don't think that's what he means, right? So let me follow this strategy. So the first strategy is, that's not what it really means. Use what's happening in the story to figure out what the author really means. Okay, so let me go back to the story and really figure it out. We got in the car and zoomed out. I think hit the road means that you just leave very quickly. Because the second sentence said, we got in the car and zoomed out. I think that's absolutely right. I think that's what it means. Okay, it's not really taking a bat and hitting the road. That would be not okay, right? That would be very silly. Okay, moving on. Now we have Ruthie and the Not So Teeny Tiny Lie. I want you to practice this with your parents at home and try to figure out if you notice any literary language. Mrs. Olson looked at Martin. She looked at Ruthie. Goodness, this is a problem, she said. The camera can't belong to both of you. I'll keep it safe in my desk drawer for now. Let's talk about it again tomorrow. Ruthie's stomach flip-flopped all the rest of the day. She couldn't remember the answer to 2 plus 2. When Mrs. Olson read a story, every word flew straight out of the window. I'm going to stop here, and I want you to turn and talk to your parents or someone in the household and try to figure out where you notice the literary language, where literary language is being used. Okay, great job. If you identified this correctly, you would have noticed that right here where it says, when Mrs. Olson read a story, every word flew straight out of the window. Obviously here, words don't fly, right? And they don't fly out of the window. So right here, you will notice that this is the literary language. Again, if you use the two strategies. Number one, that's not what it really means. Use what's happening in the story to figure out what the author is really trying to say. I feel, because I've noticed that her face, I looked at her face here, she looks very sad. She has her face down on the desk. And within the context of the story, I can tell that what the author is trying to say is that she was so upset that she couldn't concentrate. She was so upset that she didn't have any focus in school. So did you see what I just did? Today and every day, boys and girls, when you come across literary language, notice it. See how the author is using this language. In what special way? Are there comparisons going on? Are there repetitions? And are there idioms? And you want to pay attention to that. It's very crucial. Okay? Otherwise, you will get lost in the story, and you don't want to get lost in the story, right? Okay, great work, boys and girls. Now that you are reading those higher level books, pay attention to the literary language. It will keep you focused. Okay, take care. Bye.